Hello, hello. Today I'm going to take you on a speedy tour of our new to us truck camper, a 2005 Lance 845. She's sitting on our also new to us 2019 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD with a full crew cab, so a lot of space in the back seat. This is great for us as the truck can also fully function as a normal vehicle when the camper is off. First off, you can see our temporary mounting situation. We purchased and installed torque lift frame mounts, which are pretty pricey but a lot safer than the bed mounted options and didn't require any permanent alterations to the truck frame. Our initial plan was to use the turnbuckles that the seller had to connect the trunk to the camper, but when we got there we found out they weren't long enough. Thankfully, they were able to help us rig up a temporary solution to get it home, and you can see the turnbuckle at the top and the improvised chain and the U-bolt at the bottom there. Moving to the front edge here, we did have to get a custom wiring system set up since the Lance campers have custom plugs. We bought a standard Bargeman cord that fits into the plug on the back of the truck and a custom Lance cable separately. Even though it's relatively easy to do, we actually took it up to our local truck camper dealer and they spliced the two together for us. There's some disadvantage of doing it this way, namely you lose the efficiency benefit of the thicker gauge wire that the Lance plugs have, but it is quite a bit less complex and serves our purpose just fine for now. You can see the connection for the camper and our cable just at the front there. Okay, so moving around the outside now, we have the freshwater port, the water heater system here, which we'll have to investigate more once we de-winterize the camper. The seller actually told us that it can be a bit finicky, so we'll probably end up doing a little bit of work there. Next, we have the shore power connection and adapter. And finally, on this side, we have the battery compartment, which, as you can see, is missing the battery. We were almost certainly going to replace the battery anyway, so no major concerns there. Moving around the back then, you can see the door and the ladder to the roof. On the bottom left, you have the gray and black water ports. And then on the right, there's some storage. Here it is again with the ladder flipped up. The last mod we had to make before we could pick up the camper, which is a bit hard to show here, is removing the tailgate so the camper could sit in the bed. Moving to the passenger side now, you can see the turnbuckles and the custom storage rack the last owner added, as well as a bit of damage to the exterior, which is thankfully not structural. Lastly, there's the propane compartment over here. It currently only actively connects to one tank or the other, and we definitely need to get the propane swapped out. Finally, moving inside, we have the seating area and the table that converts into a bed. We already took a couple of covers off the cushions to start washing them. The overhead section we'll use as storage, but if you want, it does convert down into a second bunk. Then you have the fridge, the bed area. You can see some broken curtains, some storage, and some custom shelves on the ceiling that the last owners added. In the kitchen, you have the stove, again, some custom storage above the stove, the sink, and a good amount of cabinet space. Lastly, there's the wet bath with the shower, toilet, shower curtain, a hanger rail on the ceiling, and a towel rack on the door. And yeah, that's the whistle stop tour of our new camper in the condition we got it in. We already have quite a lot of changes and upgrades planned, so stay tuned to see what we do.